Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary rules by Onyx Path Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and contains adult themes. Our World of Darkness is intended for adults. Listeners should pay close attention to all listed content warnings. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your storyteller. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I am your storyteller this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with our Mage the Ascension series. And we are back to show you the great beyond. We'd like to thank you for listening and especially thank our Patreon supporters for supporting the show. You can do so at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. You can check us out on YouTube and over on Twitch at twitch.tv/theoldwaystwitch. Join us there and see us and hear us do all sorts of things for you on stream. And now we're going to get to player and character introductions to my right.
Hi there, I'm Allie and I play Kaylee Hannah Godfrey, and it's been some time.
Indeed it has. And with Kaylee.
Hi, my name is Tegan, and I'm playing Mr. B. Happy to help.
Welcome, Mr. B. Next to Mr. B.
This is Lecco, and I play Dante Maximbargus Bailey, a relentless artist-athlete who has spent the last 4 months forging his body and mind into a precision instrument of magic and movement.
And with Dante.
Hi, I'm Bunny, and I play Dante's tutor. Our pronouns are she, her. And as they would say in this era, this car no longer has brakes.
That's right. All gas, no brakes. And next.
This is Jake, and I'll play Oliver Devereaux. And in the intervening months, I have advanced plots, done studying, and all the pieces are falling into place.
It's so true. And with Oliver.
Hello, this is Silas. I am playing Suits, and hopefully time off is the devil's plaything.
You couldn't be more right. And so before we raise the curtain officially, I would give you, our audience, a little update as to where we are in the timeline. It has been 4 months since the night of the sphere and the terrible dust storms and the entity known as Babylon brought to Earth and then dealt with. Reports in the greater mystical community around Las Vegas are a little fuzzy as to exactly what happened. But what is known is that this entity was dealt with. The local technocratic forces have called it a win, and they've been able to reset the city and its protective elements. Las Vegas has continued on since with very little in the way of major changes. We set our date in now 2024, in the early portion of the spring, where Las Vegas is relatively reasonable temperature-wise, and we look in on Oliver Devereaux. So Oliver, you've had 4 months of, we'll say, reasonable peace, unless you're choosing to make chaos.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I wonder what Oliver would do with 4 months' time.
Well, I have spent some time advancing my skills, learning about the supernatural world in general, and trying to learn some information that will get me out of a sticky situation.
Oh, really? What sticky situation specifically would that be?
Well, apparently I am still wanted by the police, which makes life a little difficult.
I mean, it happens to the best of us. Okay, so when you say you've been spending time trying to get that sort of situation resolved, how would Oliver go about trying to do that?
Well, Oliver figures that we're owed a debt. And since nobody else has brought it up, he figures that maybe I should be the one to cash it in. It only helps everybody, really.
Certainly, but more specifically helps you.
Well, right.
Right. Okay. So is the supposition then that you would try to contact someone on the other side of the fence, so to speak?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to spend some time getting to know Miss Perkins' activities, her routines.
Sure. I think it's plausible that you would have been able to make contact with Susan Perkins probably about a month after the events. There would have been sort of a clear understanding, or at least your inability to find her for at least a month. But we can say that there has been some progress on clearing up the situation. She can certainly assist with certain levers to try to get you back in the good graces of local law enforcement. But it would certainly come with understandings. It would certainly come with some sort of requirement on her end. Because the way that she would put it would be something to the effect that, as difficult as the situation for me personally was, and the city for that matter, really, we solved the problem. The entity was still there when our people entered the sphere.
That's debatable, because that entity was in the process of being discorporated by our activities.
Okay, well, I'm, if nothing else, I'm a reasonable person. And I don't have any use for you being arrested. Even though it's clear that you have a very specific set of skills that sometimes you use against the natural order of things.
See, not necessarily. I personally don't care about this war, whether it's won or lost or where it comes in. I mean, it can be said that I have enough similarities with your side that we can just agree to exist side by side.
We have no problem cohabitating. I mean, as far as we're concerned, the eventual consensus will come.
I personally think that every person reaches their apotheosis on their own.
Sure. So I guess the question then is, Oliver, what you want something. What do you want to give me for it?
What do I want to give you for it?
Well, certainly, if I'm going to go into or ask someone to go into state, city, county records and quash warrants and erase history, it is certainly something that I can get done. But, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Well, what do you want?
Oh, there's a grand question. I want a library card. I want access to John Crescent's library.
Well, that's tricky.
It is. It means you'll have to go and talk to John and reason with him. But you're talented, and you're a member of the Order. And I'm certain that the Order has guest passes.
I'm not certain they give them out to you and yours.
Nothing is ever easy. Nothing worth fighting for anyway. Now, if you want, you can keep dodging LVPD. You can keep hiding your face around public cameras. There are a ton on the Strip, and I know you know.
Yeah, I tend to stay away from the Strip.
Yeah, well, of course you do, because you're a smart person. You could do that, or you can have a conversation with John You can give him my business card. And then we can have a conversation about the reality of things. Okay? Just start there. And I'm sure it'll be difficult for Mr. Crescent to understand what we're really trying to get after, but we all want the same thing, right? We all want to get beyond this silly idea that there's some sort of war. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the people at all. And it certainly doesn't help us because it keeps us fighting against one another when we have way bigger problems to handle. Way bigger. But like a tried and true member of the Order, John Crescent locks himself in that fucking library and he holds up all that knowledge, all of it, and he doesn't share because it's not his way. He doesn't share with the rest of us. And we'd really, really rather not foreclose on the property. It's been talked about. We're trying not to make trouble for John.
Okay. You'll recognize that this is a task and a half.
Certainly.
So I think it has a little bit more of a payout than just clearing my name. I want to know something.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I want to know what you're doing using Dante for.
See the slightest sort of smile come to her mouth. I know that you and Dante are acquainted, friends perhaps, compatriots in arms against the terrible umbral spirits that visited our fair city. Dante is an exceptional student, and we are helping him progress along his path. I spent years looking for people who have talent like Dante, people who have an innate spark, and beyond that, have the will to forge it into what it can be. He's a genius, Really. And geniuses need to be supported. And so what are we doing? We're helping him be everything he can be. Because we need that.
All right, then. You have yourself a deal.
She hands you her business card.
Make sure you remember when she says we, she doesn't mean us.
Oh, of course not.
And so I think it's only fitting then that we'll move to Dante. So Dante, 4 months is an awful long time for you to get into, the next part of your training, the next part of the program. But I want to know from you how you would be spending that time.
Dante, in his heart of hearts, is still a family boy. He still wants to make sure that his people are tended to, but he understands that his focus is absolutely required. So while he will play a support role to the best of his ability, he'll be relatively hands-off unless the situation is dire, unless it actually calls for his intervention. And so he'll use his younger, more, societally aware and critical thinking siblings as kind of his agents on the inside in the house to let him know when things are going sideways or when someone's up to some shenanigans. Because he really just wants to focus. He really would have wanted, especially after the events at the Sphere, he understands now that he'll never know what they're truly going to be up against. And while it is impossible to be prepared for everything, he will be the best version of himself at whatever moment in time he happens to be living in perpetuity. That's his aim now, at least as far as his training goes. So while his routine has been compressed quite a bit because he has the assistance of, certain technologies and certain techniques that allow him to kind of facilitate his adherence to a routine has only helped him. But now he is aided by formality and practices and science, and it's proof positive. It continues to work. And as much as he knows that Tudor worries that he is falling too deeply into the arms of these, this organization that may have questionable intentions, the eye of Big Brother is always kind of looking on. He doesn't really see them as an oppressor. He sees them as just like he would any other sponsor, any other coach. Everybody is going to have something that they want to share with you, and it's up to you to choose how you distill that information. So that's kind of how he chooses to see it, in a morally ambiguous fashion. However, in those 4 months, he has become extremely aware of his body and the energies that flow through it. And he is meticulous about his supplementation and his intake and everything else that he manages. He wants to design everything himself. He wants to test everything himself. And he shares that information with, whether it's the doctors that were working with him before, he is happy to share it. He's not necessarily certain what they plan on doing with that information. He doesn't really care, because as long as he continues to be able to do what he's doing, if he's being essentially paid to train and paid to perform, then he's kind of in the best version of his own world right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that. I can get down with that. So we'll go through a couple of things to sort of give you a level set. You have a couple of different contacts that sort of pop up after the sphere. You have much more of a back and forth, maybe not daily, but probably weekly check-in with Jason, who in a way takes over a little bit of your access to the program from Susan. Susan is given essentially 2 weeks leave because of what happened inside the building. They're concerned that she needs to mentally just needs to reset and step away. And so they provide that for her. They explain that to you. They explain that if there were a traumatic event, that you were physically injured, they would give you whatever leave time. It's part of the contract. And so they're concerned for her overall mental well-being and her physical well-being after such a traumatic event. It goes a little further than 2 weeks, though. You actually don't see Susan again probably for 3 weeks or so. But she does eventually get back into contact with you. She seems sharp and ready to get back to work and in her white on whites and fit. So she doesn't necessarily take things back over from Jason, but she does a lot of the little things when it comes to just in a way being your agent for business, because there are some things that happen when it comes to the overall product that gets put on at the Win. So the show goes really well for probably a good 4 or 5 weeks. And then you get the news one morning that the Win is moving the show to another property that they have because of a need of the space, basically. There's a Hollywood A-lister that's going to come in and essentially take over the upper portion of that for some sort of sports event that's happening in the space. And essentially the show gets kicked out of the Win effectively. Not in a bad way, but just it gets moved to a space that's not necessarily as prominent with the sphere in the background. And so everybody has to adjust to that, which is fine. You're certainly good at adjusting to things, but it does sort of, on a professional level, it does look like the show is not as visually out there. You're still on ads. You're still in, the Vegas sheets and stuff like that. You're still on all of the different internet spaces. But you know the difference as a professional performer. You know that when shows get moved after 4 or 5 weeks, there's going to be some concerns because your normal run is months long. Susan and Jason reassure you that the show is going to continue, and that they're basically hunting for a better venue long term because they they're not necessarily happy with what happened at the win. That is not hard for you to pick up on. And as far as the program stuff goes, you get a lot of data. You actually get a ton of data on yourself that they collect. They collect data on all of your shows, on every one of your performances, like down to the actual active physics behind all of your movements. It's an enormous data dump that you get basically daily. Post-performance comes on like a tablet.
Yeah, that's probably my night reading with Tutor. We spend quality time talking about my body in the third person.
You know it, pretty boy.
But I mean, otherwise, I imagine there were a few kind of hanging concerns that I had regarding, like my sister's pregnancy and the potential of some criminal shenanigans going on. But I think a lot of that, if it hasn't reared its head or hasn't resulted in like a family spiral, Dante is kind of content to step back and let his family be for a couple of reasons. I mean, obviously he's concerned for their safety. If he's too close to them and something happens, there's no telling what could come looking for him. So in some ways he's staying away from them to protect them. And in other ways, I think he doesn't know how to share what is going on with him with them yet. Like he doesn't know if he can or if he should, or even if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, all that's reasonable. I'm happy to let you make those choices whenever you decide to make them. A couple things as far as the family goes. Miguel thrives in the new place. He actually ends up watching a lot less television, and Estella gets him into basically like early Python programming. And he spends most of his school time, or what would be effectively would be school time, building his own stuff. It does probably make you feel like he's a little cloistered sometimes because of it, but he's happy. And happiness is pretty hard to find. As far as your sister's pregnancy goes, 4 months is 4 months. So she's getting close to being 5 months pregnant. Everything appears to be okay. You're still not really sure on the whole boyfriend thing. He comes and goes. It's like sometimes he's around and sometimes he's not. And really the only thing that probably upsets the apple cart to speak at all would be Marcos violating his probation.
In what way?
He is implicated in a gambling scheme.
A gambling scheme?
Yes, a scheme.
In Vegas?
Is what they're called.
No.
Right. A scheme to defraud electronic currency from one of the casinos.
But do I know which one?
It's not the Win.
That's good.
It's the MGM Grand, a former place you worked at.
Yeah, it looks great.
It sort of hits the family pretty hard because one day he's around for lunch, and the next day the family gets a call from jail and a detective at the jail, and you get a sort of the sordid details.
Okay, let me know when I can go see him. I'm gonna let him stew though for a bit. I'll let him. He's tough enough, and I don't know that I would be a whole lot of help prior to getting some of my focus back after the events. But given a little bit of time, I would definitely go visit him. Likely prior to whatever trial he's having. I don't even know if we've got him we probably haven't even got him an attorney until this used a public defender until we get him one. It's not like the family can really afford it. So,
right.
But yeah, I'll at some point in the very near future, my next bet will be to visit him and have a chat.
Sure. As far as Calliope goes, she has sort of a rougher fall semester than she was hoping for. She doesn't like a couple of her professors, and they make it pretty hard on her to get things accomplished. There's not a lot of leniency. We're in an era where now classrooms are back on in person, and given that it's drama theater, she has to be there. And sort of the big sore thumb for her is that her drama teacher and her do not get along. And it's what she's in school for. And she feels targeted. She does her schoolwork, and it's not like she's failing classes. But you see the thing that she loves the most in life become a chore rather than a passion.
Is it she's actually moving away from it and she's kind of becoming aware of the other difficulties? Like, has it lost its sheen? Or does she actually seem to feel like there is something in her way and she doesn't know how to get around it?
I think it's the latter rather than the former. She still has passion for doing in part what the family has always done, being performative. But she feels like her professor, her lead especially, in that same class, takes her skills a little bit for granted, does not give her the parts or roles that she needs to shine. And so she feels like she keeps getting sort of backbenched on a lot of these roles. And she doesn't even get signed to the fall project.
Okay. So I think what I would do for her in that instance, there's not a whole lot that Dante can do about the professor. There's not a lot that Dante can do about the school. There's not even a lot of Dante can do to help her in that vein. But I think what I would do is start spending more weekends with her. And in that time, so Dante's not a very, like, he's a good performer in the aesthetic sense and the dance sense, but he's not a good actor. Like, he doesn't read well. He's not good at, faking it. However, I'm sure that she has fun making fun of him for that fact, even though he would like run lines with her. But he would use it as an excuse to exercise one of the practices that he has come to kind of adhere to when it comes to helping other people center themselves. And what he essentially will try to do is, while engaging with her in an activity, kind of align his energy, his breathing, his output with what she is doing, and kind of try to fall into a sync base, like a resonance sync, where he would extend to her levels of patience that she doesn't necessarily possess. He would extend to her like an abundance of confidence, and more like using what he knows about her and what motivates her to help her find her rhythm, even if she doesn't understand why she's finding her rhythm. Because even if this professor is in her way and is deliberately going out of their way to make her feel a certain way, I want her to come away from those circumstances knowing that it's not because she wasn't good enough, and that this too shall pass, and that her mastery of her craft and her passion for it is what is going to carry her past this professor whose career likely peaked post high school. But it's an actual like rote that he has.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long the effect is. Probably sustainable, I imagine.
Well, it's more like a recharge, right? Like she shows up fatigued, tired, stressed. He helps her de-stress and sends her into the week kind of peaked. That's at least that's the intent. So it's kind of like a refresh, right? Like a de-stressor, recentering. If you feel like your stride is off, it's like this is how you get your gait back. This is how you ride again.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You probably would see marked improvement probably between like Monday, and then by Wednesday she's probably lagging again. That's noticeable. it makes a lot of sense. It's almost like there's something going on there. You probably don't pick it out at first, but after a couple weeks of it, you'd realize that there is a resonance that's there when you go to help her. Like there is something that has almost affected her pattern in a very light way, like a miasma.
Like a weight? Like something's weighing her down, or is it like an illness?
Well, I mean, you have both mind magic and prime magic.
And life, yeah.
Yep, and life. But this is more ephemeral than it is
Okay.
biological.
So she's been like touched by something.
Yeah. It's like there's something on her mental pattern.
Upon kind of realizing this, I think I would spend some time with Tudor.
Sure.
I'm not really sure what's going on with my sister, and I don't know to what extent it would be appropriate for me to dig.
I mean, I've seen it too. I think that if it was her normal thoughts or feelings or something deeply personal, I would tell you tread lightly, and that maybe it's not your business to dig in a way that would involve me. It'd be digging as a big brother who cares about his sister, right?
This is different, though.
I think this is different, though, and I think it's something she does not have the skill set to deal with herself. But you have that skill set. So I think that it would only make sense to try your best to try to free your sister from whatever is on her mind.
So I think with that in mind, and a kind of a silent, gracious nod to Tudor, Dante would reach out to Jason and see whether or not the local universities would benefit from, like a visit from a local performer who is willing to offer like free like dance clinics for the theater department of my sister's school for maybe a week.
Any specific reason why?
Yes, I want to know if something's happening at that school and something's wrong with my sister, if you must know. I also feel like maybe the students there would benefit from some rhythm. I mean, I got it.
You certainly don't need my permission to check up on your sister, but I can move some pieces around perhaps, and
I just don't want her to think that I'm, doing what I'm doing.
Oh, come up with a better reason for you to be there, a legitimate reason.
If you were going to try to determine whether or not something was happening somewhere, something different, something, what would I refer to it as now? I wouldn't call it like supernatural. Doesn't seem like the right word. What is the word that I would have learned to use to describe effects, lingering effects, or the stain of magic and quintessence on things?
There's probably a ton of technocratic words they might use. I like the word unnatural.
Unnatural. That's a good one. If you were going to try to determine whether or not something unnatural was happening at a location, or maybe was being caused by some person, how would you go about it?
Well, dependent upon the severity.
Unknown.
We might run tests. There are certain air samplers that we have that can detect a myriad of particles and different types of wavelengths. We have devices that do those sort of things.
Okay. I imagine they'd be a bit more precise than my model.
Well, yeah. They're very precise. They're finely tuned instruments. Are you looking to requisition one?
If at all possible, because I'd want to spend some time at the school to see whether or not I could. I suspect that something is happening to her, and I don't know if it's someone doing something or someplace, or perhaps maybe it could even be something inside her. I mean, I don't know if these traits are travel along family lines. Like, I went back in time in my mind and saw myself being born, and I don't know how much me being born had anything to do with this. And I don't know that she's necessarily been touched in the same way, but something's affecting her. Something not of this world in the typical sense. There's something off.
All right. I can get you something temporary that will work. Of course, you'll have to fill some forms out.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah. And I imagine they're prohibitively expensive.
Well, if you break it, yes, it's...
More or less expensive than the treadmill?
Oh, much more.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Well, I'll be careful.
So you go through the process of requisitioning a piece of hardware, a temporary, for 1 week. You get what is in effect a pocket drone. So it's a small ball, probably no bigger than like a Yeti snowball microphone. It's a ball. And it has the ability to deploy, and it has 4 little robotic legs. And it's got, like a tiny little camera on it. It looks actually pretty sophisticated. It's got LED lights.
I will allow Sophia to chase it around.
Sophia certainly has all sorts of fun chasing it around until, of course, it goes airborne because it can hover.
There you go.
And you don't think Sophia so much likes that anymore.
Learn to fly, girl. Come on. You can do this.
They go back and forth, likely making adjustments to one another.
How far into the 4 months is this college thing?
I'd say it's probably by Christmas.
Okay.
So near the end of it. But we'll have you investigating that to get to know what's going on in the theater there at Nevada State University.
Perfect.
And then we're going to turn to Kaylee, who can tell us all about what Kaylee has been up to for the past 4 months.
Probably living a fairly quiet life. My boyfriend had left on a trip. My fiance, sorry. Clarification. My fiance had left on a trip and had just left me a note in my apartment. No phone call, no nothing really. It almost felt like a Dear John letter, but the question was it a Dear John letter?
You actually go several weeks without hearing anything. His family contacts you after about a month. His gran calls you and lets you know that they got word from him fairly recently and that he is in Thailand.
Why? Why is he in Thailand? Does Gran know?
Gran rolls out this sort of strange yet long form story about him having evidently spent several nights a week back when he was still here in the city. While you were out bounty hunting, he was playing games online. And he played an awful lot of games with an awful lot of different people. He made friendships and evidently made relationships with other people. And when it push came to shove, he decided that he was going to take a risk and he was going to leave.
So my fiance just left me.
Yes.
Oh, great. So I've been single, and with that not being really on my plate anymore, I probably don't go by for Sunday family lunch / dinner anymore. But I still stop by to see Gran occasionally, probably once a week still, just because, she left me for a really long time. I don't imagine that changing just because I'm not dating her grandson anymore.
The family in general is still actually pretty welcoming overall. They, of course, feel terrible about what happened. They can't really explain it, but you probably go over for a dinner occasionally, maybe once or twice in the 4 months. But it doesn't really feel the same anymore. Like,
Well, no.
The first dinner feels like something you do out of, well, habit. And maybe there's a lot of, I don't want to say pity, but that's probably what it feels like. And then you probably, after that, maybe occasionally talking to Gran just because she's the person you connected with.
Yeah, so since I'm single, free and single, I'm not bothering seeing anybody because work is my life, and the other part of my life is working with Father Price on understanding more about how my magic works and the kinds of things I can do with it.
Yeah. 4 months spent between Father Price and probably your day job offers you quite a bit of time and tutelage in the way that Celestial Chorus members are expected to carry themselves. You spend nights or sometimes days at the church. You learn a lot about the chorus itself, a lot of its history. You learn a completely separate paradigm of how to interact with yourself and, in a way, Mr. B.
Well, and the chances are that the lack of a real spiritual connection that I felt like to the traditional Catholic Church is something that I've regained a certain amount of. Not for the Catholic Church, but a sense of spirituality and connection to the universe in a different way that I wouldn't have been able to have without this experience.
That's very true. So you'd have the ability as a player to go in and look at rotes that would feel more Celestial Chorus directed, and get a better grasp and understanding of how magic works for you. What you do with it, it's up to you.
I've probably spent a lot of time practicing talking to dead people.
I mean, there's more than enough of them that come around the church.
Yeah, there's lots of them. They walk in, and I during my seeking and everything, I had a really spiritual experience. So I feel like I spent extra time being, extra connected to the dead.
Sure.
And especially after I was at the sphere trying to deal with the spirit in the spirit's space and everything, I feel like my interest and understanding had to delve more directly into that because it was something I couldn't stop thinking about once I was there, having been pulled in and encountering that.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
So
you would also benefit from essentially spending a lot of time at a node, which is the church is.
Yeah. And I probably would have let my other mages know that they were welcome to probably come by and practice here if they wanted to, because it is a node. But I don't know how much they would have taken me up on that because, it is a church.
That is certainly a decision that they can make.
Everybody loves it when you invite them to your church.
It's not a cult, I promise. Between, just spending time with the equivalent of my best friend and like the one person that I like work out with and some time with my family and Pope Francis, I've actually probably been quite cloistered like to my apartment when I'm not hunting or learning. I've probably been a homebody and not really spending a lot of time like socializing.
That's reasonable. You probably would spend time looking inward rather than being external.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. You can certainly have as much up to your avatar rating in quintessence in your pattern now, and could potentially have taken more of it, which is something we're gonna have to talk about, Oliver.
Debt, another debt.
Yeah, you have a sort of a task debt that you're supposed to be paying John Crescent. Do you have that Prime 3 yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It'll just keep adding up, just like everything else.
So I don't know if it's okay to jump in, but I would definitely, given Kaylee's invite to the church, Dante would definitely take her up on it. But in exchange, he would try to drag her to his gym, that gym.
That might work occasionally. Like I have a whole like workout partner that I have that I've been hanging out with for years. So
Bring them to.
Bring them to. He'd fucking love that. My workout partner is a single dude who likes to just like casually date women and work out a lot because his regular job is so boring that working out is like the most fun he ever has. Yeah, we would probably take you up on that at least, occasionally. I guess I don't actually know how often Mr. B would be around. Probably just whenever they felt like it.
I can spot, right? Like I'm physical enough that I could spot you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
One more.
Such a bonus for you.
I do also wonder, like, if you would be contributing to, like, my learning with Father Price or not, or if you're...
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, we can combine them. Crunches and Christ. We've got this.
They make protein Cheez-Its.
So that's probably about as social as I would be, is with the people that I already know.
Okay. So I wonder then, is there any confluence of events that is going to bring and potentially bring Oliver into your orbit or any of your orbits specifically?
Oh yeah, I'm the kind of person that will invite myself to things.
Somebody's got an extra here. Help.
Yeah, well, and to be honest, I've probably kept, like, over time, since I do have a couple of contacts in the police force, I probably know that Oliver is in some trouble, and I'm just choosing not to do anything about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely aiding and abetting a felon.
I'm perpetually concerned for Oliver's safety and well-being.
I never mention any of this to Oliver. Ever. As far as Oliver knows, I have never looked him up to find out if he's a troublemaker or anything.
Well, if it helps any, I'm perfectly open about the fact that I'm a wanted fugitive.
To the cops.
It's a good thing that I'm real introspective right now and not needing like an easy payday.
I can't.
There's no bounty on me
that you know of.
Oh, to get in the Father's good graces, I would definitely show up with like 100 ripped Jesus shirts to donate to the church. Like the Shredemption shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah. You bet. You probably bring in the shirts too that have like the cross on the back, the traditional back tattoo cross that's there.
Right.
Yep. You bet.
The other thing that I'd want to do is it happened early on, is the landlord who owns my complex had like a black case with stuff in it.
Yeah.
I probably would have wanted to, at some point later after everything happened with the sphere, like go back and snag it.
Yeah, it's not there.
Not surprising. It was probably drugs.
It's quite possible, but that item is not available at that time when you go back for it. It is gone.
Is it ever there again when I go to pay rent during the interim months?
Nope.
Well, all right then.
But you do wonder about it. Do you tell anybody about it?
I tell Mr. B about it. That'd be the only person I tell.
I'm always here to listen.
Right.
I can hold space for you.
And you always do. Because you're so helpful.
And I'm pretty much a part of your consciousness.
That's true. So I probably don't even have to talk to you about it. I probably just have to think about it. It's like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
It helps to talk.
All right. So there's at least some reasonable chance that the three of you would be in the same place. And I know that y'all have eaten on the strip before. And I also know that food is something that brings everyone together. So we'll say, for the purposes, at least during one of these months, three of you would have gotten back together and hopefully commiserated about things, or at least checked on one another. Seem reasonable?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this new Hawaiian place that is open. It's been open maybe a month or whatever. It's off strip, and it's more like a truck than an actual restaurant.
Right.
It's in a converted parking lot now, and it's been basically taken over by like truck food vendors. And the food is phenomenal. It gets out on the street that this place has a really amazing pork and really amazing food. And people flock to it. So what we'll do is we'll set a scene there, say afternoon-ish, and y'all can commiserate together. Mr. B, of course, if you want to be physical, you can be.
I want to be physical.
Is it pre or post workout?
Oh, it's definitely post-workout.
I'm going to have a whole Kahlua pig. If they serve it.
Yeah, they don't serve a whole pig.
I just want the pork. Just the pork. Like a whole pig's worth of pork.
I can get you some cheek meat.
Nice.
I want spam mutsubi.
Okay. That's true, because Mr. B can actually eat too.
He sure can.
Jealous.
Which is probably questions in your mind, Kaylee, about where the food actually goes.
No, we don't question that. We have accepted Mr. B as Mr. B is.
Everybody poops.
While I would attempt to discern, I would never share what I know.
What you know or what you think you know.
Whatever Mr. B's inside show me is true.
So Mr. B's there.
Physically, yes.
He's eating.
Spoken like a life mage.
Okay.
As far as I know, Mr. B's not like you're not like transparent.
I just have to ask, where does the food go? I mean, I need to know.
Inquiring minds all need to know.
That's a good question. I don't actually know.
And if you're physical, can you have sex? Can you get somebody pregnant?
Now I guess Mr. B's just going to look thoughtful, contemplative.
Oliver, are you jealous that I have a physical one and you don't?
No, I just want to know.
I'm used to navel gazing, but this is like a whole different level. Dante has the best of both worlds. I don't usually have to be there to bother him, but I have before. So.
The Hawaiian food is excellent.
So what have you guys all been up to?
Yep, working. Learning. Working. That's pretty much it.
We got fired from the wind.
What?
Yeah, the show got moved to a different locale. Not really sure why. I guess they had some other venue, but we got shuffled along. I mean,
Well,
shows
probably
move,
for the best.
but
Is that a good or a bad thing in your line of work?
I mean, my pay doesn't change. Just my points of access do in my locker room.
Oh, well, then it doesn't really matter.
Oh no, Dante, I think it's kind of nice not having to see the sphere every day.
I don't say anything. I just let that one sit. You had to bring it up, didn't you? You just had to bring it up. I was doing just fine.
If you have that reaction every time I bring it up, you're not just fine. As I say, every time you do this.
I shove a whole roll with pork into my mouth. And I just gnaw on it furiously.
Just because your mouth is full doesn't shut me up.
You okay, Dante? Are you always so hungry after a workout?
One, yes. Two, she just reminded me of all the crap that happened at the Sphere.
Oh, I also go quiet.
See? You see? Appetite killer. Why? You're so good at ruining it. I say to the pork.
Speaking of the Sphere, I heard from Adam. He's on some kind of spiritual journey in the desert or something. I think it involves a lot of mushrooms. I'm a little jealous.
Well, as long as he gets back alive, I suppose.
Yeah. Or whatever.
I would like our avatars to roll their mage's Arate rating and then half any avatar background that the associated mages have. This is a perception-based roll. Difficulty 7.
Do we round up or round down?
I'm going to let you round up.
See, over here, I don't even think that added up to a single success.
Ouch. You're busy smoldering and smelling like brimstone.
Dude, what happens if they're 10s?
In this case, it's treated like an Arte roll, so you would roll them again.
Okay, because I got a 1, an 8, and then 3 10s.
Okay, so the 1 will remove
We'll
one of
cancel
those
out a
10s.
10.
Okay, so an 8 and 2 10s.
Right, so you have 3 successes currently.
Okay, and then a 7 and a 5.
Okay, so you have 4. Very good.
Then I have 2 successes.
Fabulous. Okay. So for you, Tutor, we'll start with you. We'll wait on Mr. B because a few more successes there. At the talk of the Sphere, it is somehow impossible to not let your eyes drift in that direction. It's still an object that sits on the astral side of this universe. Whatever it's made out of, whatever makes up the fundamental technological marvel that the Sphere is, it has some sort of impact. It's something you got a really, really good look at up close. Not that you wanted to, but it is something you saw. And you realize that the space there on the, we'll say in the sort of primal energy portion of Las Vegas, it feels and looks a little off. Like imagine there's a heat wave from the desert over that portion. Definitely something you notice. Mr. B, perhaps it is Kaylee's connection to the spirit world, or perhaps it's just your fundamental understanding and perception of the universe and what it's made out of. But you can readily tell that the Umbra in that area, so the Umbra being the direct spirit world, is not, it's not healthy. Like, imagine if the sky above could have scar tissue. The pieces came back together after the entity left, or was banished, or was destroyed, or whatever happened. But there's a scar there. It's subtle, but it's there.
I want to relay this. Yeah, let's just say that Mr. B relays what you what you described. I will relay that to my partner here in crime.
Are you doing that mentally, or are you saying that out loud amongst the other people here?
I'm just sending you vague feelings.
Which is only slightly more elegant, perhaps, than me just forcing Dante to be aware of it.
God damn it.
You're just like poking him, like in the belly button. Hey, look at that.
Just an awareness of over there, and sort of, it's like somebody sharing a studio apartment with you, blaring music while they're cooking, right? You can't really not know about it. But I get to do that inside of his head. So he's aware of the heat over that area and the difference in what it feels like. I'm not gonna monologue at him, just making him aware.
You know that face people make when they're like eating food and then someone does or says something that's really gross and they just kind of make like they just kind of get disgusted and like push their plate away and like they wipe their hands and toss the paper. All that's happening right now. It's all very dramatic.
What? Pork bad?
No. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something wrong with the sky above the sphere.
What?
Yeah.
There's always something wrong with the sky above the sphere.
But it's like really wrong. Do you see it?
Mike, can I tap into my prime?
You can certainly look at the primal energies. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is your prime focus?
Math.
Math. Okay, so show me, Oliver, utilizing math to activate that. You're bound by your paradigm.
Well, at this time of year, the barometric pressure should be blah 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 blah, and then obviously it's not.
Yep.
And
Yeah. No, I mean the flavor text is all I'm looking for in this regard. I suppose if you want to have grades of successes, you need to roll Arate, which you can certainly do.
I would do so. And it's
Highest sphere plus 3 because it's
Okay.
coincidental, so it's 4.
that's 2.
Damn giant ball gift keeps on giving.
Can I look at it with spirit after Oliver's done with that?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Y'all can just start whipping your Arate around. You can do so by letting us know what your focus is and how you're using it.
I don't have a focus for my spirit anymore because I got
Oh,
3
that's
dots
right.
in it.
You got rid of it.
I got the dots, baby.
Yeah, roll Arate.
I got 1 success.
I think what's important here for the both prime and spirit sections are the tint when it comes to prime magic is a little different. So the necessary and esoteric weave of energy and all of the auras that come off different types, you saw a lot of like red and dark black energy that was around the sphere when this was going on. That's not what you're seeing here. You're seeing like, I think the best way to describe the color is it's like a 3-day-old bruise. It's purple and a little yellow and maybe like a tinge brown. But there is definitely a tracing back and forth that one could imagine over the sphere as if something was at one point cut open and has been woven back together, but the space which has been woven back together is not healed correctly.
Is there any quintessence leaking through?
I mean, there's ambient quintessence.
Right.
There's a lot of pattern quintessence there in that space,
Mhm.
just based on the fact of what the sphere is. But it's not like ambiently leaking.
Okay.
But there's something which would give you pause when you looked at it. It looks different.
It's like getting cut, and if it heals and it doesn't heals, you got a scar.
Yes.
I wonder how common that is.
That's a good question.
Bet your smart friend would know.
And then the spirit version of that is actually sort of a little worse, to be perfectly honest with you. With Prime and Spirit, because Kaylee has both, you would see the primal portion of it, but the spirit portion is more like, it's like there are cracks in the gauntlet that just never heal. And working with Father Price, you'd be aware of what the gauntlet is now. You have a much better understanding of it. And you also know that that's probably not great either. In a downtown space, a heavy metro space, the gauntlet is thick. It's not something that would allow spirits or entities to easily pass through. You saw the gauntlet thin very much when the spirit of Babylon was present, because a deep umbral lord was trying to push its way into physical reality. This doesn't feel like that. It doesn't look like that to you, Kaylee. What it looks like is, it's almost like the gauntlet here has like varicose veins.
Oh. Cool. I hate that.
Would you say the gauntlet is thin and veiny or thick and veiny?
I would say it's thick. I would say right now it's thick and veiny, to be perfectly honest with you, given the fact that we're in a downtown space.
Is it
Yeah.
throbbing?
But yes, that is what collectively you all pick up on. And once the mages pick up on it, if the avatars haven't, they do, and sort of in some way vice versa.
So is it just always going to be like that?
Maybe. The gauntlet's not supposed to look like that. The gauntlet should be cohesive, and it's not right now.
It's like a little angry belly button.
I think the other thing is that not knowing really what it is or what makes it as powerful on both sides as it is or anything, that alone makes it hard to gauge if it'll ever be different, or if the paradigm of this place will assert itself eventually onto that also, or I really can't say, Dante, but it's definitely not like anything else I've ever seen or experienced.
Well, I don't know about you all, but I have no interest in going back there anytime soon. But I don't know. I guess I can relay something to my bosses, see if they have any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk to Father Price. The gauntlet shouldn't essentially be cracked like that. So I don't know if there's anything that we could even do. I don't know if it's something that would require like a lot of mages to focus on to heal or fix. I don't really know.
It's more like
I'm gonna need
Care Bear stare kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been fun. We should do this again.
Are you still wanted?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have to deal with that at some point, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking care of it. Don't worry about it. I got irons in the fire.
Wait, taking care of it? No one that does crime and then says I'm taking care of it ever really takes care of it.
What crime?
I don't know. You're wanted for crimes. Why would they want you
I'm
otherwise?
wanted for crimes, but they're not I didn't do it. They're not my fault.
Those are two different things.
I'm innocent.
Well, now you're just lying to yourself. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I'm probably on track to have to get back to the university because I don't know if I'm just paranoid at this point. But I think that maybe either someone or some place has put a whammy on my sister.
Like magic whammy, or
I mean, it's what it smells like.
Drugged?
No, not like a roofie. I mean, like an actual, like something unnatural is happening to her, and it's taking its toll on her. I got this thing. Here, check this out. I think I take it around in my bag, and I bust out the drone. I just kind of like put it on the table.
A
And
technological device.
Dante, what are you using this for?
Oh, it's like a scanner. It sniffs around for energy signatures and thermal scans and biorhythms, and it relays all sorts of interesting stuff. So I made an excuse to get into the school for a little while, and I'm hanging out there and just seeing what I can see, you know?
Oh, my little arcana path. The way that we should care a little bit more about whose info we're relaying to who.
It's got legs.
I worry for you, Dante.
Check it out. I press the button.
It whirs to life.
You know,
I mean,
I don't know if I'd be just pulling that out here in public because
I mean, it's
there's
just
no
a drone.
wings or fans or anything. It's just a ball.
No, it's got legs. It's got a little propeller thing. It's got rotors. Sure, check it out.
Yeah, it's cool and all, but I'm just saying.
You hear
Somebody's-
you hear it start clicking.
Oh hell!
Like
It's a bomb.
it turns and sort of rotates around the group, and all you hear is click, 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 click.
I check my app
You see photos up here.
of us.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. Selfies.
That's
I'm even more worried now.
All right, fine. I'll delete them.
Do you know what you're doing with that?
I mean, I know what it does.
Well, because like if you're flying it into like rooms and stuff, you risk that getting damaged so fast,
Oh, I'm not
especially at like a school.
I'm not doing it in front of people. Like it's supposed to be, you know, it's like a spy.
Then why is it out now?
Because
Put it
we're
away.
not in the school. I'm not spying on you guys. Well, it might be at this point. I mean, it is taking pictures of you.
Well,
That's a pretty good
apparently
shot. Your
you
mouth
are
is
spying
open.
on us. Right now, at this moment, you're spying on us.
Okay, fine. I'll turn it off.
I hope that doesn't get sent to some off-site database. probably does.
If it does, you might have just gotten Oliver in even more trouble.
Yeah.
They don't know where he is. I put it away.
Suits is like present for Tudor to see, right? That's just a thing
Mm-hmm.
since Oliver's here. She's gonna lean towards Suits and just be like, guarantee you it is.
A
Guarantee you
little
it's being
frightened that
sent
he's
somewhere.
accepting gifts of that nature.
Oh, it's even better. It's not even a gift. He signed up for it and took it out on a loan that he'll have to pay for if anything happens to it.
That's bold.
Yep. I will say there is something off with his sister. It's like there's something wrong with her her mind's pattern. There's like a miasma to her thoughts themselves. It's very weird. And she's she definitely feels off, and it's been getting worse all fall term. So like I am concerned for her, but I don't know if little spy ball from the people who he's working with is my favorite choice.
I mean, I'm open to better ideas if anybody has any.
Well, I don't know enough about the situation to even warrant offering help, to be honest with you.
Well, that's why I'm looking into it. I mean, if I figure something out and it warrants, you know, assembling the League of Extraordinary Criminals, then
I'm not a criminal.
You know, you could have just sent somebody who your sister doesn't know to go check the place out.
Yeah.
That probably would have been easier, to be honest.
there's you who's
Yeah.
wanted, and there's you who's busy. You're clearly busy.
We can always make a little bit of time in the day to go stroll about the campus.
We can do
I
that
also
anyway.
know people.
Yeah, but do they have like, you know, specialize, you know?
They don't need specialized things, generally speaking, if you're just trying to track somebody for a couple days to figure out what they're up to.
So you want to put somebody on my sister instead of me just going to the school? I feel like this got way more complicated.
Well, I got places to be and people to do, so
And I just look at Oliver when he says people to do, like, okay.
Is it that weird to ask if they have any ideas on looking into this also in case you and your little ball from Jason don't work out?
Okay, so my tutor wants me to check with you all in case I fail miserably as a failback. So if you want to follow up after I faceplant due to the mismanagement of my special silver ball?
yeah, just send the deets to my phone and then we'll, figure it out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, if it falls flat or if you don't get what you're looking for, you can talk to us. It's fine.
That's what I'm doing. It just happened. I just got it.
All right, well, technology is not the end all be all. Enjoy your toy and hopefully it delivers what you want it to.
Is that one of those "but God is" kind of things?
No,
Okay.
that's just I don't necessarily trust technology to do the right things the way that we need them to be done.
I mean, it's working pretty well for me.
You said you just got it.
No, I mean technology in general, as a general principle. Science, evidence, data.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying that, technology is not infallible either.
We also agree that we don't think it's something mundane happening to your sister, probably, and it's probably not technological in the way that you'd like to think it is. So, what did you call them? The wonder criminals or something? That they might be your best choice still to talk to.
I mean, I did talk to them. I talked to them.
Maybe you could see if there's something in Mr. Crescent's library about these types
I don't know
of
if I'm
things.
welcome. Last time I was in there, I did shrooms and he got mad. This is all
But he
happening
still
loud,
let me
by the
write
way.
in his little book. He couldn't have hated us both that much.
All right, if nothing turns up, I'll go to the library and see if I can find anything on, I don't know, brain stains. Are you going to be around, Oliver?
Yeah, I'll be around.
All right. I'll hit you up if we need to do some extra research. But I'm probably running late.
All right.
All right, well, be safe anyway.
Of course, always. You too.
Mr. B, Suits, it was nice having company that isn't this one for a little while. Do it again sometime.
You can stay
Anytime.
if you really want to.
No, I can't.
We can make that happen.
Well, then it sounds like I'm in charge.
Yeah, and I'd like you to be in charge of seeing them a little more often.
Okay, and Tutor also wants more play dates, so y'all need to call me more often.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. B can visit whenever, so.
Mr. B, you want to go to college?
No. No, I do not.
See? I will pay for dinner. I'll leave.
You pay for dinner. Kaylee, you get a text from Father Price.
Okay.
It says you should get back to the church as soon as you can.
And I'll just wave to the boys as I walk away.
See you Tuesday.
And I'll get my car and I'll head straight down over to the church.
Okay.
Father Price calls, I am summoned.
You get back to the church, and Father Price is in the main cathedral area, and he's sort of walking up the aisle towards the doors when you meet him. He looks very concerned.
What's wrong, Father?
We've had some disturbing news. It's been brought to my attention that there was an incident here at the church a couple of weeks ago with a member of staff and one of our parishioners.
What kind of incident?
He seems to take a breath. It seems that one of the parishioners had been coming to a staff member for counseling. And in the matter of their session, there was an exchange between the two of them. The parishioner had been dealing with some very difficult addiction issues. And so they were understandably seeking counseling for it.
Of course.
That parishioner has passed.
From the addiction issues?
From the substance, yes. The police are coming.
Okay.
There's going to be investigation.
In what regard? Are they asking questions for the members of staff? Are they...
Yes, they want to interview several members of staff. Because the drug that was used that they unfortunately overdosed on was some sort of new street drug that's being used.
I see. Do you happen to know the name of it?
They said that it's called Vital.
I know a few people in the force that I could talk to see if they know anything more about it, what effects it has, how addictive, what the overdose rate looks like right now.
Kaylee, I brought you here to make sure you understand that with the police here, there's going to be media attention.
Okay.
I need you to consider maybe taking a break from being here personally, given your career.
I can, that's not a problem. I can do that. I can still reach out to the contacts I have, and then I can just update you via phone.
All right. I want you to know that I'm going to work with the staff here to figure out exactly what happened so that we all understand the truth. No matter what.
Okay. And you'll let me know when it's appropriate for me to come back?
Of course. I don't wish you to be away from this house or your connection to it, but I certainly don't want to put you at risk.
Of course, especially if there's potential legal complications that arise.
It's my understanding that during the counseling session between this staff member and this one parishioner, there may have been some monetary exchanges between the two of them.
That could complicate things.
It likely will. If they bring a suit against the church, it will be difficult to defend us.
Yes. I've been attending regular Sundays with my family for a while. Do you want me to refrain from that as well, or just the extra time I've been spending?
I would never bar you from the church. I would hope that services would continue. My concern at this point is making sure that everybody understands, the staff here understands what happened. We will be absolutely transparent.
Yes. And everyone in the house must be safe.
Yes. Everyone. But Friday Mass will come in a few days, and then, of course, Sunday. And if the investigation gets involved, it could be very difficult for people to want to come.
Well, if there is anything that I can do or contribute to help move things along, let me know.
I will let you know. Right now, knowing more about whatever this street drug is would be useful. If nothing else, we must ensure that no one else dies because of it.
Thank you, Father. I'll call you as soon as I know anything.
Thank you. May the one keep you.
And you. Then I'll leave the church and go home.
You leave a very concerned father and head home. So with that, I will call an end to the first episode of season 2 of Mage: The Great Beyond. I'm very much looking forward to getting into what happens to Las Vegas and beyond in this series. And it's good to be back. So thank you and good night.